Hello and welcome to Reviews. As always, I'm Plume Noir, and can it be? That's 2 days in a row where I've read two good comics? I don't remember the last time that's happened. I, and they're both very Black Cat centric. The other one was Black Cat number one just yesterday, and this one is pretty much, she's a major part in it. I am absolutely giddy. I feel like it's 1990 and Sports Illustrated just had an all Elle Macpherson swimsuit issue. It's awesome. Ah. So anyway, speaking of decades ago, this is Symbiote Spider-Man number three, written by Peter David and drawn by Greg Land. Now, Greg Land, he can be a good artist, when he's not tracing certain things. Um, But Peter David was writing Spider-Man back when, in the time period that this story takes place. When Peter Parker still has the symbiote costume, and it's an untold tales, and it's good. You know, it's it's as enjoyable as comics used to be back then. Um, I'm just gonna pop right into it. So yeah, we get our Daily Bugle front page. Yeah, it's an intro to the book. It's more modern style than it was back then, where you would turn the page and it'd be boom right into the issue. But this talks about how Spider-Man's been seen with Mysterio and how the suit killed Mysterio's partner, um, whose name I already forgot. He was in the last issue working for Mysterio, and when he knocked Spider-Man out, the suit killed him to save Peter's life. So here we have the Kingpin entering in the office of um, Mysterio's buddy. Owen, whom are you speaking with? Well, Mr. Fisk, this is an empty chair because I'm talking to myself. I do that sometimes when I'm thinking. Sometimes, yes, it means not all the Kingpin, threatens him, lifts him up. I hired you to research Cloak's powers, to find a way to emulate them for me. And yeah, editor boxes. I love editor boxes. I'm so glad to see that. Check it out in Peter Parker's Spectacular Spider-Man 97. It shows right where it fits in, into the continuity, what era. So Fisk leaves, and we find out that he's been talking to Mysterio, who made himself disappear. And so Mysterio is asking him that, he needs help. Um, that he saw Spider-Man's costume, you know, kill a collaborator of his. Um, I don't even think, I doubt even the wall crawler understands its full potential. So basically, he needs to figure out a way to, get a costume, get part of the costume. And if there's only some way I get a sample of it, but Spider-Man would never do it voluntarily. Maybe I could blackmail him, find out his identity. Blackmail him? We don't have anything on him, but we do have something on his girlfriend. That could be useful. Oh, right, that Felicia Hardy girl. The cat. You like cats, right, Quentin? Now, the one thing is, and maybe I'm misremembering, but I thought Felicia Hardy's identity wasn't public at that time. Um, it wasn't public knowledge, but maybe it was. Maybe I'm misremembering. I thought that was more of a new thing. So Spider-Man is, we cut to Spider-Man who is, yelling, one side, coming through, move your litter, because he's being chased by Electro, and he gets on stage at Cats, at a performance of Cats. So yeah, it fits, the time period, and again, we get the Greg Land faces. I do like Greg Land's art. Um, Although one little niggling thing here doesn't really show up on this page very well. But on other pages, he draws Spider-Man's the white, um, the squares on the back of his hand. He kind of makes them like almost ovals that go down his wrist. I don't. It's a stylistic choice, and I don't know why it just kind of bugs me. So yeah, of course you have the typical, is this part of the show? Um, and Electro, is threatening him. Again, given the time period, smoking's been just been freshly outlawed inside buildings. And so Spider-Man runs in. Hey, no smoking. Don't you know those things will kill you? And don't do drugs either. Now clear out fast. Now when Usher gets surprised, drops his Zippo, Spider-Man grabs it. Oh, and here's Butters. And of course, Butters. Of course, Spider-Man does exactly what you would think. He uses it to set off the smoke. In this case, it'd be a heat detection. There's two kinds of smoke detectors. Some of them detect chemicals. Some of them detect rapid changes in heat. Obviously, since it worked with the Zippo, it set it off. So it set off all the sprinklers, of course. Shorting out Electro. And one little thing is, Spider-Man starts singing, does whatever a spider can, because Electro runs in, yelling, Spider-Man, Spider-Man. So he continues it, kills his prey, eats them whole when he is on a roll. Yeah. Okay, so maybe that's still the theme song for the Spider-Man cartoon in universe. Anyway, so he beats Electro, saves the whatever. um, and that's the problem with Greg Land. You will get faces like this that just seem kind of weird and out of place and almost jarring. So Spider-Man's thinking on top of a rooftop, you know, that should take care of that. Hopefully they can find a way to keep Electro bottled up this time. And that's when Black Cat shows up. Hey Spider, silently narrating. I prefer to call it thinking. Whatever. And Felicia brings up the fact that she was talking to his Aunt May when they went to the grave. You should tell your aunt who you are. Huh? Wait, what? I think she might take it pretty well. You know, and he does the whole thing. The shock may kill her. If I were still a teenager, maybe she can handle it. As it is, no way. And besides, how do you know anything about my Aunt May? And she says we chatted. When? It brings up the speed. Helpful little editor box there. And what happened with Mysterio anyway? Don't change the subject. You met my aunt? What did you talk about? And so they have a little bit of a spat. We talked about you, obviously. She really loves you. I wish I had someone like that in my life. I'd tell her everything. Maybe it is and you're just overcomplicating it. So Peter takes off. You know what? I'm shutting this down before I say something I'll regret. And it's kind of interesting because Black Cat even admits very shortly that she's always preferred Spider-Man over Peter Parker. So it is kind of interesting that she is pushing for him to tell his aunt. So, she's even talking to herself. God, some nights I wonder why I even love him. Do I even really? I mean, I only really care about him as when he's Spider-Man, not when he's and Mysterio. Had he just waited, he probably would have learned Peter's true identity, his real name. But Mysterio even says, by all means, keep musing aloud. Don't let me interrupt. Look at this great panel. That's why I said Greg Land's art is so good. So, she attacks him, and he disappears. And he comes behind her and, gets a rope around her neck. And, yeah, given Greg Land's propensity to trace porn, I don't even want to know what he was watching for this. So, come on, break free. Don't disappoint me, Felicia. I know you can do it. And so, yeah, the cord then snaps. There it is. Excellent. Your bad luck power is quite formidable. Does your lover know about it? And so, yeah, at this time, Peter doesn't know about the Black Cat's bad luck power. Originally, she didn't have powers. She went to Kingpin to get them. And, the hell there isn't. I know why you're here. Oh, you do? Pray tell why. You're a villain. Capturing the loved ones of heroes is villainy 101. So you want to grab me and use me against Spider somehow. And Mysterio starts laughing. Because that's not his plan. He says, my dear Felicia, I don't want to capture you. I have a job for you. And I will pay you rather well. A job? Like what? To steal something? Only a mere part of something. So he gives her a laser scalpel and a container. and sets her off to basically steal a part of the symbiote costume for him. Now remember, at this point in the comics, like real world, it wasn't a symbiote. It would Venom came later. It was you know something was up with the costume. It was alive, but they didn't know exactly what it was. So uh, when Felicia turns him down, do you want me to betray my spider? No way, no freaking way. Not for all the money in the world. Ah, well, so much for the carrot. The stick it is. Go see what's on the table. And yeah, there she sees, oh my god, it's all the files about how Felicia got her powers from Kingpin and, all that. Basically, he's going to try and blackmail her. But it is just an illusion. And he says, your reaction to the file has betrayed you, Cat. Spider-Man doesn't know about your ability. Or more to the point, he is unaware of the origins. How would he react, I wonder, if this file were to fall into his hands? Then again, if you don't love him, that won't matter, will it? So yeah, she attacks, and very well, you've made your decision then. I'm sure he'll find it a very interesting read. And again, she still looks like Greg Land's Tracy Porn. She agrees to do it. And so we cut back to, Spider-Man has been looking for Mysterio, can't find him. He's got some kind of bigger plan. When he gets home, oddly enough, his spider sense goes off, and Felicia's there waiting. And of course, she's in only a bathrobe. And it's interesting that he doesn't really think about his spider sense reacting to Felicia. And I'm going to have to stop it pretty soon here, but you got to show this page because she uses her feminine wiles to get what she wants. Wow, that sounds really bad given this panel here. And so, given their fight, Spider-Man's saying this doesn't solve. He's just kind of stammering, and she's like, "You're going to stand there all night?" So yeah, basically, she seduces him. She gets a piece of the costume, and the costume is pissed. And I want to end it there. This series is pretty good. I mean, again, it reads so much like the way comics used to be. This could easily be, Amazing Spider-Man. I don't even remember the issue numbering back then, 179 or something. Although I guess I could. They just actually had editor notes in here. Yeah, Spectacular Spider-Man 97. There was another one. I already forgot where it's set. But yeah, it fits really well into the time period. The story is paced very well. One thing is, after the next page, the second to last page is, a preview, like a Daily Bugle shot for the next issue. And then there's this, which is a one-page thing that says, it has two guys talking on a bus, and and the one guy gets off and says, "I'm looking for something amazing," and then you see Spider-Man swinging by. But you have a different writer, different artists. I don't know what this is. I don't know. And maybe I could just kind of do this here, and yeah, I see it goes Daily Bugle, issue 4 on sale, blah blah blah. And then the very last page before the inside back cover is this. Now, I do know there's is it The Life of Spider-Man? There's some limited series going on with that. I haven't been reading that. Or Spider-Man Through the Decades, or something like that. I have not been reading that. But this page here, if it's promoting something, they don't actually say what it's promoting. I don't know what this is all about, so it might be related to that series I just mentioned. You got 4 Freedoms Plaza there. So yeah, that's kind of left me scratching my head. But otherwise, this book is so good. Um, you know, like I said, sometimes you get that Greg Land art that just sticks out and just looks so weird. It's usually women's faces. Um, those things, which I think I've seen him do that exact same face. Um, But then, this is also another staple face of his. It looks fine. Black Cat looks sexy. She looks good. The art in this book looks good. This could easily be, if this was colored, um, for color and, on cheaper paper, this could easily fit right in the middle there. But again, Peter David was writing back then, and he's making references to things that went on in the comics around that time. So, you know, he's done his homework and, or at least refreshed his memory. So, yeah, 12 o'clock. I like this issue. I'm liking this series. I'm more interested in this than I am in a lot of the current books. So, yeah, 2 days, two good comics in a row. I thank my stars, I guess. I don't know how I got so lucky. But tomorrow I am working a double, so I might do one of my videos from the lab. I gotta give my voice a chance to rest. Can you hear it going out again? So anyway, as always, thanks for watching. Get this book. Support this book. Let Marvel know that we want good books again. So anyway, as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.